Greetings from Dehradun. I'm Jessica Gabriel from the BEILP team. And today we have a very interesting project with you. So Begin Ed India and ALP together, we are collaborating on a story project. So we're going to have different stories from different people, and we're going to just learn together through different breastfeeding experiences. So today we have with us a certified lactation professional and an ALP ACE2 member, Aparna Vashisht. Aparna, thank you so much for joining us. Aparna is from Delhi, and today we have with her because she's going to share her breastfeeding experience with us. Aparna, thank you so much for joining us. Do you want to start with just a brief intro about you? How many kids do you have?
Yeah.
What do you do?
Hi. Thank you for having me here. This is something storytelling and that too about breastfeeding is so much what I really love doing. Okay, so I'm a mom of two, and I am also a certified lactation professional, and I'm also a birth doula. So I'm primarily based in Delhi. For past 3 months, I've been in Dubai for some work, but I'm soon going to be back in Delhi. Yes, I have two kids. My elder one is 4 years and 2 months old, and my younger one is 2 years and 4 months old. And I started tandem feeding them, and I continue to feed both of them. So in a nutshell, that is how I would like to introduce myself. Yeah.
That's amazing, Aparna. Thank you so much for being with us. So yeah, let's just start with a few questions. So I know that you have two kids, and you just said that you're still breastfeeding them. So what was your breastfeeding experience during pregnancy?
It was very challenging, and it did not receive much support from my immediate care providers, including my team of doctors and professionals. I think there is not enough education being around. So scientifically, if it's like a low risk pregnancy, there is absolutely no problem in a mother continuing to breastfeed her elder one. But here is the challenge that we tend to scare the mother so much about what risks breastfeeding may get you. They say that you will have an early onset of labor if you because if you continue to breastfeed your elder one, your nipples would be stimulated, and that can have an early onset of labor. So there is a lot of misinformation and no information that is being circulated, and that makes the whole decision very challenging. So yeah, I did not have much support from my team of medical care providers also. So that's where I chose to look out. I tried to seek support in the peer support groups, and some of my lactation counselors who are my friends at that time through the peer support group. So yeah.
So even around pregnancy, you didn't have any antenatal support or no preparation sort of?
No. So especially for my my first pregnancy, I did not even know if one has to take antenatal classes. I just got added to some peer support group. So that's where I thought I started reading about breastfeeding, and I thought that this is important. During the second pregnancy, I was a little more aware. And that's why I chose to continue to breastfeed my elder one while I was pregnant with the second one. And this image is particularly very special to my heart.
Yeah, I think that's a very encouraging thing for even all the mothers who would be watching right now. So Aparna, you said that you didn't have any support. So how was it during the first few days after you gave birth? So what went well? What challenges did you have?
Yeah. So as a new mother, you have a newborn in your hand and you just don't know what to do. There are all sort of advices that fly in, One says that the baby should all the time be on the breast. The other says that if the baby is too much on your breast, then the baby would become clingy. There are others who push forward that if you don't add a bottle of formula, the baby will never be satiated. There is another line of people who say that never put a bottle, the baby will become too dependent on the bottle. So as a new mother, you feel so utterly confused with all this information. So it is definitely, I mean, I did navigate through all of that. I was lucky I had, I got to some peer support, group, and, it just went okay for me. Yeah, I mean, but it definitely can be very challenging. I think once we talk about support system, we will talk about how at each tier, at each level, support is required.
Hmm.
So, like for my first one, I did not as such have very technical problems. Like, those were things like, um, I don't know how many times I have to feed the baby. Am I making enough milk or not? But with my second one, especially, there were problems because my second one was born with a tongue tie, and that's where the real challenges, begin. So you have the right slide saying that what challenges did I face during my breastfeeding experience. First one, during the first one, it was more about, am I making enough milk? Is it okay? Is it not? And those initial days inhibition of wanting to feed the baby but not sure if someone else is looking at you. Also, as a new mother, you're so restricted at home, and then once you start going out, the first inhibition is, can I feed the baby in public? Is it okay? Will people look at me? So, as a new mother, you're rising above all that.
Hmm.
So, once you reach that stage, so here it is where your peer support, your immediate family, your husband, your partner, your in-laws side of family, your own parents, they can be very, they can either build up your support, they can either build up your confidence, or can completely shatter it. I was lucky that, I could educate my family about it, and they were able to support me. But yeah, with my second one, I was okay. I had risen above these initial challenges, but then there were other challenges, like my baby had a tongue tie, and I just did not know what to do. So, through this peer support group, BSIM, I reached to uh, a skilled lactation support person, which was Camilla. I know she is also a part of the ALPI. So, that is where I realized that it is here that the role of skilled lactation professional comes especially important. So she really helped me, and she guided me to the right medical professionals, and he had to eventually, get a tie released. But yeah, so all the support system is very important. One is your own family, then comes your, then the bigger circle is your peer support, then is the third bigger circle of the lactation, skilled lactation people. So yeah.
So, Aparna, you talked about that you like found Camilla skill lactation support. So, how did you find her? Like, what was the thought process? What was the journey to find a skill lactation support? How did you get to that?
Yeah, honestly, and all this was happening when there was COVID. So there were no in-person consultations that were happening. Very few people were meeting each other, especially in a hospital-like setting or something. So not many people were moving out of the house also. And there was a complete lockdown. And that is where I consulted Camilla online. So she is an IBCLC. So uh, even though she was an IBCLC, I was like, how it is possible that I have not even met someone and they are able to advise me on things like this. And also I was not a lactation professional back then, but I was like how it is possible that the baby is not feeding, how it is that there is a tongue tie, how can they detect this without even seeing the baby. So you, as a mother, you're always faced with the so many. I was like, okay, even if the baby was born with a tie, how did I not know? So these are the things that you struggle with because nobody talks about them openly. But when I met Camilla, she asked me to take it slow. She provided me a lot of information. She said, it is upon you. I am leaving you with all this information. You have a look at it. You let it get absorbed, then you come back to me. So it's not that you know the support is just given one time. It is, I think, an ongoing. She really built that rapport with me, and then slowly I started experiencing changes with her skilled lactation support. So this is absolutely important, for the initial things like, okay, how many times should I do it, and this, that, you can still listen to a friend, an experienced friend who is probably who has fed her baby. You can be like, okay, how should I do it, and this is fine. But when it comes to real challenges, and if you're facing challenges on an everyday basis, on a continuous basis, then it is very important that you look out for a skilled lactation support.
Hmm. So,
So
yeah, Aparna, let me ask you like something from your story that you just shared, right? So you said like you had an apprehension before, like how can a video consult even help me? And you
yeah,
were this was a second baby, not your first.
yeah, this
So
was
you
my
already had
absolutely.
one challenge, and this was like a level up challenge now. So what was that key point, or what was that highlight, or what was said that kind of made you take that jump? Okay, this is going to help me. What was that thing that kind of let you go past your challenges?
Yeah, so I was like you just mentioned, I was like, we had these initial 2 3 video consults, and I was like, okay. Then I started realizing that whatever she's saying, that is this how, she would ask me questions like, is this how your baby normally makes a sound, is this how he normally behaves? And I started realizing that, okay, she's saying the right things, and I could see that those were coming from experience. So it is fine that she's due to the current times that we are living in, COVID and everything, there's a lockdown, we are not able to meet. But I could feel that the kind of questions that she was asking me, I realized that it has to come from experience. So I started then trusting her more. And that's when I felt that I should go with her advice, and I should listen to her more. And especially Jessica, when it comes to things like a tie in the baby's tongue. So as mothers, I think we would always want to negate that my baby is born with any sort of anomaly. No, 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 I know there are so many people in my family. We tend to, I would also give her all these reasons. No, there's so many people I know born with ties. You are the first one who's telling me that there is a tie. I see so many people roaming around with tie, they look absolutely fine. So it is just a level of trust. You have to cross that barrier, and when you start trusting that person is when you would start welcoming all the advice that they give out. So yeah, like now when I'm myself in the capacity of lactation professional, I do feel that sometimes online consults may look like I don't know what the other person is saying, but you have to somewhere, you have to build that trust from the lactation professional side, and from the mother side also, you have to trust that this is a skilled person, and would be giving me the right advice.
Yeah, it's a push and pull, so it kind of goes
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
together both ways. Yeah, that's a very wonderful story, Aparna. So just to sum it up, what are your highlights from your breastfeeding experience? So you could talk about your first baby or the second baby. So which one do you want to choose, and
Talking
like
about
what were
highlight,
your
this
highlights?
picture that you've put in here, I am on one of the highest buildings in Paris. This is Eiffel Tower, and I am feeding my firstborn, my elder one, on the top of Eiffel Tower. So these little things. Initial days, it used to give me a kick that I'm going to go on top of Eiffel Tower, and if the baby demands, I'm going to feed the baby there. So as a new mother, these are little things that help you build up your confidence, that I'm going to wear a sari, and I'm going to feed, I'm going to wear a thing of my choice and still going to feed. So uh, of course, these small little things, they build up your confidence. But to be honest, like in terms of the whole uh, breastfeeding experience, the highlight has been that uh, how beautifully, if a mother desires, the whole family, the whole society, somehow they would align to the whole idea, and they would support you. So it may be a bumpy ride in the beginning, But if you continue to strive for it, if you have the the willingness to also educate them in the right manner, I think you're not only going to benefit yourself, but these people, when they go out and talk to 10 other people, or if your neighbor tomorrow is pregnant and is breastfeeding, probably your mother-in-law would then go and advise the other lady's mother-in-law that, see, this is what I did and this is what you can do. So the change will happen. It's just, you have to believe that you can make it happen. You have to actually, it doesn't happen like, it's not right or wrong. People don't come from there, they come from they have this held up thoughts about breastfeeding. So you have to actually believe that you can bring in some education, and that is where the change will happen. So I could garner a lot of support from peer support groups, from lactation professional friends, from my own partner, from my own family, because I knew that I have to do this. So it starts by also talking a lot, educating them a lot. So yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. So yeah, Aparna, that brings us to this beautiful picture of you and your firstborn and your second child. But can you tell us something about your breastfeeding journey now? So what's going on?
Yeah. So I'll be very honest. When my elder one was 12 months old, that is when I had conceived my second child, and my biggest um fear was, how am I going to nourish this child within and continue to breastfeed my elder one. Um I treaded on that path, and till date, I am feeding both of them. My daughter Avni, she is 4 years and 2 months, and my son Avid, he is 2 years and 4 months. And there are times that I am feeding both of them together. Initial days were very challenging, but talking to my elder one, taking care of the needs for the younger one, it does make it easy. Now there are times that they would support each other in adjusting, on one side and the other side. They would support each other, they would support each other's neck, and they would, so it's very nice also. And how they're both and they talk about, I see them playing with their dolls, and I see that how both of them would in a pretend play would try to feed the doll. Even my son, would bring his toys, would bring a Spider-Man, would bring a Peppa Pig, and put the Peppa Pig on his chest and be like, Mama, don't disturb me, I'm feeding my Peppa Pig. So it's so heartwarming to see all of this. And you know i just uh, I just feel that when these two grow up, they are going to add to a generation of people who would normalize breastfeeding, because only when we normalize it will we talk about the challenges, and will we be able to support mothers better.
Yeah, I think that's really well said. If you normalize it, then obviously it kind of just raises another generation of wonderful kids. So, Aparna, I know that you are also a lactation professional. So, what key learning message do you have for those who are listening to us today?
Yeah, so till a while back, I was only a lactation professional, and I had done this very nice course from BEI, and it really opened a new world of information for me. And then I started doing, my consults. I would do home visits, I would do online consults, and very recently, I was a part of a clinical lactation internship program, which is mentored by Dr. Shachi, who's also part of ALPI. And that's when I was actually working in hospital with families, and Dr. Shachi is an IBCLC. So the amount of cases and the kind of cases that people bring to her, it's amazing. So that's when I realized that, before working in that sort of a setup, I was like, okay, you motivate the mothers and you are okay. Like, a lot of challenges will just go away by motivating them and just telling them few tricks and tips. That's when I realized that, because I would see families right from the time they would come to give birth till the time they would be in the hospital. Some women would have to give their babies in an ICU. So it was like, on a whole, I could see this whole picture. That's when I realized that breastfeeding is so much more. It requires such a concrete teamwork between the mothers, between the families, between the lactation care community, and others also in the society. For someone even who holds the door of NICU to let the mother in, the kind of smile that you give to a mother can actually make her confidence, and can tell her that, oh, I see how difficult this is. So it really is uh, I mean, it's very heartwarming to see how, if all of us become aware of the mother's needs, uh, can we support the mother better. And one thing that I really want to say here is that I think all of us need to trust the intelligence that the mother has and trust her intent. Because the moment we, so often as lactation professionals, we like, I gave all this information to the mother. I don't know why she's not acting. So we have to trust her intelligence there. That maybe, there is not enough trust, or maybe she thinks that this way will not work for her mother. So, I think, yeah, I mean, that would be my key message, that, you have to trust the mother. And, it's only then that, we can all work together as a team. And for lactation care community, to my friends and my seniors and everything, those who are listening, uh, the learning never ends. So, every day is a learning for us. And there is never a day that we should feel that, oh, I'm done and I have all the experience, because there is so much more. Here it is not with the, it is science, but there is so much more to science. There are relationships, there is intensity of emotions that, uh, that go, worldwide while a mother is breastfeeding. So it is a lot more. And to be able to, of course, skills are very important, and you learn it on every day, you learn it on the go. But at the same time, you have to be, generally, I think you have to trust the mother, you have to trust their instincts, and you have to be generally kind. I think that's where it happens. Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. I think if I can just sum up like what you just said, so it's like trusting the mother, building that trust rapport, trusting your team,
Yeah.
and learning never ends. So it's always an ongoing journey. That's a wonderful advice, Aparna. Um, I know you said in the beginning of the last question that you did this nice course from Beginner India. So how did your breastfeeding journey motivate you to, even take up this course or become a lactation professional?
Yeah, I mean, um, 6 months into my breastfeeding with the first child, I wanted to go back to work. And I was like, okay, now going back to work would mean, how am I going to, extract milk? Like that is the thought. How am I going to extract milk of my breast? I don't know, like, what to do now. And then I started reading about pumping, and I was like, okay, there are so many technicalities involved around this also. And I felt that I may still have the access to internet, or some peer support group, or I can find some help online. But there are a lot of others who may not really have that access, or may not really uh, have that sort of a support from their partners or from their families, for maybe to purchase a pump, or maybe not have that sort of a support at their workplace. So that's when I felt that the challenges of a mother, they never end. Like, right from the initial newborn days till the time you have to go start going to work, it never ends. And a mother needs to be handheld at every stage. And it is only we, as if we extend this sisterhood of support to fellow mothers, can they really pass that path. So I realized that I want to be in that capacity of supporting mothers. And I started finding out what can I do to upgrade my skills, and that's where I got to know about the Begin at India's course of on becoming like a lactation support person. And I never had to look back, because this really opened up a new world of opportunities for me, and I'm so grateful uh, to Begin at India and to Alpi for having this ecosystem for emerging lactation professionals. It's really very helpful.
We talked about your parenting journey with both of your kids. So, what is that one thing that you wish you knew as a new parent?
So this is something now I tell the people who consult with me, or mothers whom I meet now, is that as a mother, you can do it all. Okay, you can do it all, but you don't have to do it all. You are capable. Yes, you can change the nappies, you can burp the baby, you can feed the baby, you can bathe the baby, you can do everything. But do seek support. If breastfeeding is a problem, please do seek support of a lactation support person. If just there are some confidence issues, if you're not feeling enough support from your parents or your partner, seek help of a peer support person. Talk to them, vent out your feelings. uh, but seek support. You can burp the baby, but please give it to your partner or some help in the house to burp the baby, because at the end of the day, you have to take care of yourself also. You cannot keep pouring from an empty cup. I mean, in the language of lactation professionals, we say that the breasts never go empty, but and you can keep on feeding, the breast will never go empty, but you as a person, as a mother, you need to look after yourself. And I wish people, as a next step, or maybe as something complementary to breastfeeding, people start talking about postpartum depression and how the whole experience of breastfeeding can be very isolating if you don't have enough support. So I wish I knew all of this as a new parent, but I know it now, and that's why I'm telling it now. So yeah.
Yeah, thanks, Aparna. So, I just want to finish one with a question like for our lactation community, as we talked about. So, if you had a dream, and if you could dream about this lactation care community in the next 5 years, so what is that one of your dreams?
Wow. Honestly, I have been I've been very humble in my whole journey. Like, I mean, I know I'm a very small contributor to the bigger set of lactation support community. There are some excellent skilled lactation professionals whom I consider my senior, my gurus. But if I really had a dream, I wish that this sort of teaching, or the kind of training and support we would receive from the ALP clinical sessions, or the clinical lactation program that was run under the mentorship of Dr. Shachi, something like that is made available in all the cities, in the smaller towns. Some sort of tie-up between the doctors and the lactation support community, which would allow people like us to be included more in the system. And also, I think this puts a big onus on the lactation professionals also, those who are like me, that we take it as a learning experience, and we also consider ourselves as contributing members only, and we don't take it up all in our hands, because it is not. There are a lot of stakeholders involved in this, and we it is our responsibility to be able to build up this community. Like one wrong is a big word, but one irresponsible statement or a prescription, from like a CLP, can really bring down that confidence that we can build up with the team of pediatricians or gynecologists. So I think we are small contributing factors to the whole ecosystem, and we have to keep learning, and we will learn only when we are all together, only if we are included in that ecosystem. And for that, we have to show the intent for learning. And for those who still don't have the access to, like, like clinical lactation sessions, online or offline. I think you could just begin by volunteering at any Anganwadi center or any nearby, this dispensary or any small hospital near your place. And whatever, this community has been very open, Begin in India, Alpi, for that matter, every time people have, I think everyone shares that same perception. Every time people have written to you or Dana, you guys have been so responsive. Like the team has been so responsive. So I don't think you have turned down anyone's request for learning, or, so if support is needed, you guys do give out support. So wherever anyone, is, I think they should just begin. Like that's what, begin in India. So you should just begin. And yeah, it can be a small start. It doesn't matter where it's going to take you, but in your heart that you are contributing somewhere.
Yeah, every journey begins with a small step, doesn't matter how small that is.
Yeah,
That's so true. Well, Aparna, that was amazing. I'm so happy and so glad that you could join us and share your breastfeeding journey, and just from the beginning, from having one kid to the second baby, and then your journey ongoing to become lactation professional. And as you said, like it's an ongoing journey. So thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story with us.
thank you, Jessica. You've been so kind and so patient with me. I hope you get the spirit, like it's a lot of love for the community and for the mothers. I think together we can make this happen.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. All right. Thanks, Jessica.